The Lake of Death. The Pandavas stayed in Dwaitavan for the final part of their exile in the forest. Only a short while remained before they had to disguise themselves and hide for the 13th year. They wondered where they should go. One day, as they sat discussing in the company of rishis, a Brahmana in obvious distress came before Yudhishthir. He explained that a deer had caught hold of the sticks he used to light his sacred fire and taken them into the forest. The sticks, along with my ladle and other paraphernalia, were tied into a bundle. Somehow the deer caught them on his horns. O hero, I must have them back so that my sacrifice may not be stopped. Yudhishthir reassured the Brahmin and stood up at once with his brothers. Taking up their bows, they went in pursuit of the deer. Although they shot many arrows at the deer, however, they could not catch the animal. It bounded swiftly away and then vanished into the woods. The brothers became tired and disappointed, and coming to a large banyan tree, they sat down in its shade. With a heavy heart, Nakula spoke to Yudhishthir. In our race, virtue has never been sacrificed, and we have never been idle, nor have we ever refused anything to any creature. How then has this calamity befallen us, O king? Yudhishthir placed his large bow on the ground and said, "There is no limit to our misfortunes in this world, dear brother, and we cannot always ascertain their causes, because it is the great god Dharma who distributes the fruits of both virtue and sin." Bhima frowned. "We have met with this disaster because I did not slay Dushashan when he dragged Draupadi into the assembly hall. Yes, my brother, I too am to blame for our present misfortune, in that I, Arjuna, did not retaliate when Karna uttered his cruel words that day. And I, Sahadev, am also to blame. Why, I should have slain Shakuni at that dice game as soon as he cheated you, O king." "Oh, Nakula, certainly it is hot in this forest. Now, quickly climb a tall tree and look around for a lake. Your brothers are tired and thirsty. Having refreshed ourselves, we can then decide what to do next." Nakula climbed a nearby tree and gazed around. "Yes, there seems to be water not too far away. I see what appears to be a lake and can hear the cries of cranes." And as Nakula slid down the trunk, Yudhishthir spoke. "Oh, handsome brother, go now and fetch water for us all." Nakula emptied the arrows from a couple of quivers and then left his brothers. Soon he arrived at a large clear lake covered with lotuses and lilies. Kneeling down on the shore, Nakula was about to drink when he heard a voice from the sky. "O child, do not drink this water. This lake belongs to me, and no one may drink its water without first answering my questions." Nakula looked all around, but he could not see anyone. His thirst was so intense, so not caring for the voice, he cupped his hands and drank the water. But as soon as it passed his lips, Nakula fell down dead. After some time, Yudhishthir became anxious. Nakula had not returned, so he asked Sahadev to look for him. Sahadev followed his brother's path and also came to the lake. But seeing Nakula lying dead on its shore, Sahadev was grief-stricken. He touched his brother, looking for any signs of life. Nakula seemed to be buried in a deep slumber. He had not lost his bodily luster, but there was no pulse, and he was not breathing. Sahadev stood up perplexed. Feeling an unbearable thirst, he went to the water's edge to drink. As he knelt down, he heard the same voice from the sky. "Do not drink the water of my lake. First of all, answer my questions, and then you may drink." But Sahadev was unable to heed the words. His thirst was most oppressive, so he took a swallow of the cool water, and just like his brother, fell down dead. Now, seeing that neither of the twins had returned after nearly an hour, Yudhishthir told Arjuna to go and see what was happening. With his bow at the ready and his sword unsheathed, Arjuna proceeded with caution. Finding the twins lying on the water's edge, he was seized with pain. He ran over to them and knelt by their sides. There were no signs of life. Arjuna was amazed. Who could have killed them? There was no indication of a fight. Arjuna looked around, but saw only the trees moving in the breeze and the water birds on the surface of the lake. Arjuna went down to the water's edge to slake his thirst, and again the voice resounded from the sky. "O Partha, do not attempt to drink this water by force. It belongs to me, and you may only take it after answering my questions." Arjuna shouted up to the skies, "Come into my presence and prevent me. You will not speak in this way again when you are riven by my arrows." Immediately, Arjuna released countless arrows, which, empowered by mantras, were capable of hitting any unseen object. Arjuna filled the sky with his arrows, darts, and javelins. But again the voice spoke. "Your exertions are useless, Arjuna. Now, answer my questions, or if you drink the water, die." Disregarding the words, Arjuna took a sip of the water and fell down dead alongside his two brothers. Almost another hour passed. Yudhishthir felt increasing anxiety. Now he sent Bhima with these words: "O tormentor of foes, we have been seated here for a long time, awaiting our brothers. So I think you should find them and bring them back. I shall wait here." Bhima nodded and rose, running quickly along the path to the lake. When Bhima saw his three brothers lying there dead, he became astonished. Surely this was the work of a powerful Rakshasa. It seemed hardly possible that any being could have slain Arjuna and the twins. Bhima considered that he would soon have to face a formidable enemy. So he had best drink some water and overcome his fatigue in preparation for the fight. Bhima ran down to the water, and again the celestial voice resounded in the heavens. "O child, do not attempt to drink from my lake. First, answer my questions." Bhima thought that the voice must have come from whomever had killed his brothers. He looked around angrily. That wicked being would soon repent his vile act. So not caring for the warning, Bhima plunged his face into the water and drank, and like his brothers, fell to the ground dead. Alone, Yudhisthira waited, but when Bhima did not return, his mind was filled with foreboding. He thought it impossible that both Bhima and Arjuna could be overcome in battle. But where were they? Perhaps they had found celestial delights by the lake and were enjoying them together. No, surely they would not neglect their duty. They had received his order and knew he was waiting for them. Also, the Brahmana's paraphernalia still had to be recovered. Something must have happened to prevent them from returning. Apprehensively, Yudhisthira set off along the forest path. Passing by trees covered in blue and red blossoms, Yudhisthira approached the lake. The warbling of birds and the hum of bees resounded in his ears as he moved quickly through the woodlands. Within a short time, Yudhisthira came to the lake, which seemed to him as if it had been transported from the abode of Indra. It was covered with lotuses and surrounded by blossoming trees and varieties of wild forest flowers. By the side of the delightful lake, however, Yudhisthira saw his 4 brothers fallen to earth, resembling the 4 Lokapalas fallen from the heavens at the end of an age. Yudhisthira ran to his brothers and fell to the ground by their side. Breathing heavily, Yudhisthira shed tears of grief. He lamented loudly, his voice echoing from the tall trees surrounding the lake. "O mighty-armed Bhima, you swore you would break Duryodhana's thighs in battle. Of what value is that promise now? O Arjuna, how are you lying here today? Human promises may prove false, but how can those of the gods? We all heard the celestials proclaim your glories and declare that you would win back our lost kingdom. And there was also Indra's prophecy that no one would be able to vanquish you in battle. So how has this come to pass? Surely my heart is made of stone, because it does not shatter upon seeing such a sight." And as he looked at his motionless brothers, Yudhisthira was beside himself with grief. He cried for some time, his mind utterly confused. Gradually, he managed to control himself and ponder the situation. Who could have slain these great warriors? There were no signs of battle. Their bodies were unmarked, and they seemed to have dropped to the earth in some deep, dreamless sleep. Carefully, Yudhisthira looked at the lake. Perhaps Duryodhana had made it and filled it with poison. But no poison could kill Bhima. Maybe the Kauravas had conspired with the demons to bring about the death of his brothers. But again, what demon could face Arjuna, who single-handedly had overpowered the Nivata Kavachas? Yudhisthira looked around. He could see no footprints. Arjuna's arrows were scattered here and there, but there was no blood. It was unimaginable that Arjuna would not have hit his enemy. He never discharged his arrows uselessly. Yudhisthira then considered that some mighty being without a material body must have overpowered his 4 brothers. He then examined them closely. Although they appeared to be dead, they had not lost their color, and their features were unchanged. Their souls were surely still present, although the symptoms of life were gone. It seemed their life force had been removed by the god of death himself, acting from within. Convinced of this now, Yudhisthira thought he would discover the truth if he entered the lake. For it was because of this lake that his brothers had met death. Yudhisthira went down to the water and, throwing off his armor, plunged in. Immediately he heard the very same voice who had spoken to his brothers. "O child, do not take this water. This lake belongs to me, and if you want to drink, you must first answer my questions." Yudhisthira gazed all around. "Who are you?" "I am a crane living on moss and fish. Your younger brothers, disregarding my warning, have been brought by me under the control of death. O king, if you do not answer my questions, then you shall become my fifth victim." In astonishment, Yudhisthira looked about. He saw the crane sitting on a branch of a tree near the lake. "Who are you? Are you Lord Shiva, or the foremost of the Vasus? Or are you a Marut? It is not possible for a mere bird to have killed these 4 mountain-like heroes. O strongest of all those endowed with strength, you have achieved what even the gods, Gandharvas, and Asuras could not do. I do not know who you are or what your intention is, but I am curious to know all these things, and I myself am also terrified. Why, my heart is troubled and my mind is confused. Please tell me why you stay here and what you desire." Yudhisthira then saw the crane transform into a huge, fearful-looking being. His large red eyes were pointed, and he blazed like the sun. Roaring like a thundercloud, he spoke. "Yes, I am a yaksha. I am not a bird. Hail to you! For it was I who killed your energetic brothers for their own faults. Although forbidden to drink, they disregarded me. So if one loves their life, one should not attempt to take this water by force. The lake belongs to me, and one may take its water only after answering my questions. O Yaksha, I do not wish to take what is yours. I will try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. Now, please ask me whatever you will." The Yaksha then began to place questions before Yudhisthira. Yudhisthira answers the questions of the mystical crane. "So, O king, what makes the soul rise out of its entanglement in matter? Who keeps the soul company? Who is the guide of the soul on that spiritual journey? And on what basis is all of this established? It is knowledge of the Supreme Lord which makes the soul rise. Godly qualities are the soul's companions, Dharma is the soul's guide, and the soul is established on truth, Brahman." So then tell me, what makes one learned? How does one attain to that which is most exalted? How does one acquire a second self? And by what, O king, does one become wise? Yes, one becomes learned by studying the Vedas. By asceticism, one attains that which is most exalted. Intelligence is like a second self, and serving one's elders makes one wise. The Yaksha then asked about all kinds of subjects, ranging from worldly wisdom to knowledge of religion to spiritual matters. Yudhishthira answered them all without hesitation. Finally, the Yaksha said, "Now I am satisfied. Answer my last 4 questions, and I will restore one of your brothers to life. Now tell me, who in this world is happy? What is the most wonderful thing in this world? What are the true tidings of this world? And how can one find the eternal path of religion in this world?" With folded palms, Yudhishthira replied, "One who is neither in debt nor one who is exiled, and one who lives simply, eating simple food in one's own home, that person is happy. And the most wonderful thing is that although every day innumerable creatures go to the abode of death, still a man thinks he is immortal. The true tidings are that in this world, which is like a cauldron, with the sun as its fire, days and nights as its fuel, and months and seasons as its wooden ladle, all creatures are being cooked by eternal time. Finally, the eternal religious path is found only hidden within the heart of a great Mahatma, Mahajan, devotee of the Lord. You have rightly answered every one of my questions. So tell me, which of your brothers do you wish to have restored to life?" "O Yaksha, let Nakula, who is tall as a shala tree, and who is endowed with a broad chest and long arms, be brought back to life." "O king, I am surprised. Bhimasena is surely more important to you than Nakula, and Arjuna is your chief supporter. Why do you ask for Nakula to be revived?" "One who sacrifices virtue is himself destroyed, and one who preserves virtue is in turn preserved by it. I am therefore careful to always observe virtue. For me, great virtue lies in refraining from cruelty. It is superior to all worldly gain. Thus, I ask for Nakula. For both Kunti and Madri are the same to me. In myself, Kunti still has one son, but Madri now has none. So with the desire to behave equally toward my 2 mothers, I ask for the life of Nakula." "O Pandava, since you consider abstention from cruelty superior to both profit and desire, then let all of your brothers be restored to life." And as the Yaksha spoke, the 4 brothers rose from the ground as if from a deep sleep. They felt refreshed and free from hunger and thirst. Yudhishthira then asked the Yaksha, "Who are you, O great being, who assumes the form of a crane? Tell me in truth your identity. Are you a god? Perhaps you are my father himself." "O best of the Bharatas, I am indeed your father. know me to be Dharma. I have come here with the intention of meeting you. Fame, truth, self-control, purity, simplicity, charity, modesty, steadiness, asceticism, and celibacy are my limbs. By abstention from cruelty, by impartiality, by peacefulness, by asceticism, by purity, and especially by humility, I am attained. Oh, my dear son, you possess all of these qualities. By good fortune, you have conquered your mind and senses, and you practice virtue. I only wanted to test you, and I am indeed fully satisfied. Now, ask me for boons, and I will bestow them upon you. For those who are ever devoted to me need never experience misfortune. Yudhishthir respectfully bowed before his father and spoke. My first desire is that the Agnihotra of the Brahmana, whose fire sticks were lost, not be destroyed. O son of Kunti, it was I, in the form of the deer, who carried away those sticks. I shall return them to you. Now, ask for some other boon. The 12 years of our forest life are now complete. For the 13th year, we must live incognito. So please grant that no man will recognize us during that time. So be it. Even if you wander about in the world as your actual selves, you will not be recognized. Through my favors, you will lead a secret incognito life in the city of Bharata. Now, take these fire sticks and ask me for yet another boon, for I am not satisfied with conferring only these two favors. O Yudhishthir, you should know that I begot you, and your friend and well-wisher Vidura is also a part of myself. O my dear father, O God of gods, it is enough for me to know that I have seen you. To please you, however, I will accept one further boon. Lord, grant that I may always overcome avarice, folly, and anger, and that my mind be always inclined toward charity, asceticism, and truth. O Pandava, by nature you are gifted with all of these qualities. You are already the embodiment of virtue. Still, I grant your desire. Dharma then disappeared, leaving the 5 Pandavas standing together on the shore of the lake. In great wonder, they returned to their hermitage with the Brahmana's fire sticks. Ahani, bhutani, gachanti ha yamalayam, shesha stavaram ichanti, kim ascharyam atak param. Every day, hundreds and millions of living entities go to the kingdom of death. And still, those who are remaining aspire for a permanent situation. What could be more wonderful than this in the world? Tarako pratishta srutayo vibinna, na sao rashir yasya matang na brinnam, dharmasya tattvam nihitang guhayam, mahajano yena gata sapanta. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a Muni or great sage. And simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are properly understood. No, the solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, the Shastras confirm that one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanans advocate. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlada Klada Dayane Hiranya Kashi Puravakshaha Shilatankana Kalaye Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimho Yato Yamitato Nrsimha Bahi Nrsimho, Hriday Nrsimho Nrsimham Adim Sharanam Prapadye Nrsimham Adim Sharanam Prapadye Tavatara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna